Edgar Kaufman returned to Pittsburgh and took us on a personal and nostalgic tour.
World-renowned architect Frank Lloyd Wright has designed everything from synagogues to college auditoriums to a car showroom on Park Avenue. But his most celebrated masterpiece is a private home that juts out from the boulders above Bear Run Stream in western Pennsylvania. Wright named it Fallingwater. Wright built Fallingwater 50 years ago as a weekend country home for Edgar Kaufman Jr. and his parents. Edgar spent many happy summers and holidays here before his family gave the property to the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy, who maintain it now for the public. Since then, millions have enjoyed Fallingwater, and recently the top architectural brass hailed it as the best building in the country.
It's even more of an honor because, first of all, they said the best building in the last 125 years, which is quite a long span. And secondly, the people who voted for it were the senior members of the American Institute of Architects, which means these are the people with the most experience, the most prejudices, and the most rigid in their thinking, and yet they came through.
It was Edgar who introduced Frank Lloyd Wright to Edgar Kaufman Sr. while he was studying architecture at Wright's school and home in Wisconsin. Soon after, the master designer drew up plans for the family's dream home in the woods. It took 3 years to build, and in 1937, the Kaufmans moved in.
Well, it was very exciting and very disturbing. It was exciting because it was so beautiful, and it was disturbing because there were 17 leaks.
The leaks were fixed, and the Kaufmans started entertaining. And what a house it was for guests to play in. Visitors cooled off during hot summer nights in the falls, which is also where Edgar occasionally went skinny dipping.
It was exciting to get in under the falls, to be in this very almost secret place that nobody else could see. And then you'd move in a couple of inches so that you were right under the heavy fall of the water and get pounded by this ice-cold water, and the pounding making your blood race.
Edgar has many great memories of the people who visited Fallingwater.
Well, our most outstanding visitor was Einstein, and he really was very special. He hardly ever opened his mouth, but you could see that nothing was escaping him. He was very observant, very quiet, and very elegant.
But the conversation was always lively when Wright stopped by.
The memories are principally that he was so unbelievably convinced of his own grasp of the importance of the relationship between people and nature. And at the very same time that this was going on and really kind of blowing your own mind about the simplicity and directness of this approach, he could be so cavalier, so crisp, and if on occasion insulting. There was this wonderful balance again.
Edgar recounts many more memories of Wright and of Fallingwater in a 190-page book that he has written for the 50th anniversary.
If you look at the cross-section here, this is a slice through the house that way. This was my floor up here.
Edgar took us to his room on the 3rd floor, an area that Wright called the Captain's Walk.
I never thought that 50 years after it was built, that it would be in such wonderful shape, that it would have such a great public reception, that it would mean something to so many people that it could never mean when we were using it privately. I thought it was a whole new career for a wonderful house that I thought of really more as a friend than as a house.
Edgar now makes his home in New York City and visits Fallingwater only a few times a year. He's always eager to return, but never sad to leave.
No, I mean, you're not sad when you leave an old friend who's having a wonderful time. You're glad they're having a good time. I had a good time. I think the house had a good time.
Edgar Kaufman's book is available in local bookstores. The price is $55, but it's a great gift item. Coming up next on Evening Magazine, we're going to meet Miss America and dig into our Thanksgiving dinner. Stay with us.